They are a great influence and they keep it positive on their videos at all times, which is what I encourage. So I definitely endorse you going to them. Let's see if anybody's bought. Whoa, what is going on? I'm dying. Oh, because of the jumping. Hold shift. Woo! Ho ho ho! That was fun. All right, the floor is very bouncy. So as soon as I jumped, I glitched in the ceiling, and then I kept bouncing and glitching in the ceiling. I don't think anybody's bought any yet. Nope, no buying. Let's go ahead and push this guy out. We don't want to ride him anymore. That's dangerous. Okay. This is TPW's awesome armor stand building. I know he showed that in his video. His channel doesn't publish videos too often. Lately, he's done a little bit more than he used to. So actually, I really encourage checking out his channel. It's really cool. And this is my snow farm. See if anybody's bought here. Nope. Same old around this area. Nothing too new here. What else? What else? What else? There's a lighthouse, obsidian shop. I'm not sure if I ever showed the obsidian shop. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, so it's just lava and water. It looks really cool in there. That was built by State of Comatose. Here's TPW's enchantment shop. His enchanted books will be in here, opening soon. I guess we won't go in. It looks really cool though. The town center hasn't changed. Okay, here's another cool thing. I'm not sure if I showed this on video. This is the life insurance policy building. I'm pretty sure I did show that, but it just looks really cool. And there's a new feature here that I want to show you. They implemented the slime blocks into the design. So now it's like actual Mario where you're just like bouncing in and out of the tubes. So press this button and you get launched up into the room. It's so cool. Such a cool design. And then in the same way to get out, you just stand on the slime, press the button, and you're launched up in the tube. It's so cool. Now, where's my horse? Or where's my mule? Mule is the correct word. Mule, 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 mule. Ooh, look at that horse. I still am hoping that someday I'll find Felleroff. I mean, I traveled around for so long looking for him, never found him. I'm still hoping. I'm not ready to give up hope yet. I am positive that I'll find Felleroff at some point. All right. So let's locate him. There's the mule. So some of the feedback I've gotten on the video that said ad-free YouTuber or YouTube channel for Jesus, Minecraft channel for Jesus. A couple of the comments, let's try parkouring real quick. It'll be fun. A couple of the comments, one of them was like, hey, I'm satanic. I'm offended and I'm going to report you. And that's silly. I know they were just trolling me, right? I'm pretty savvy when it comes to knowing if people are trolling or not. But on the other hand, that some people might actually think that Satanism is a good idea, which is really weird to think about. Because if you think about it, those of us who grew up in like Christianity, we know Satan is like not a good person to be a role model and is not something that would be beneficial to worship in any setting whatsoever. So the theoretical basis for their religion is just silly. The fact that some people believe in it is just weird. I don't understand it. I mean, I've looked up sort of why or that some people do follow Satanism, but I've never been able to understand why they would, what benefit they would get out of it. See, like other religions, like even Buddhism, it's very weird, like the basis thinking of it to me. But I'd understand like, yeah, you want inner peace or whatever that's promised by Buddhism, so you'll study Buddhism and you want enlightenment. Cool. And I understand that. But I don't understand things like Satanism, where there's really no eternal benefit to it, is there? So that's sort of weird. That's one of the comments I got. Another comment, someone said that they're atheist and that they're going to report me. So why would an atheist care if I talk about God? That's my question. And I get this, I've seen this all the time, like atheists not wanting God to be talked about in school, stuff like that. Like you are legitimately offended by someone else's religion. That's just strange to me. If you're an atheist, why would it matter if someone talks about God? It just doesn't make sense. If someone talks about God, you should be like, okay, I'm an atheist and I don't care, right? You should just not care. There's no reason to care if someone else is talking about their religion. I'm pretty sure I can make this jump. I did it before. What in the world? Oh, let's try to make it from here. So that's just weird to me that some people think like atheism, I'm offended if you mention Christianity. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you be offended by my mentioning Christianity? I mean, I understand if you'd be offended if our like atheism is stupid, although even then, it really shouldn't be offensive to you because there's no, you have good reasons for your religion. If I think it's stupid, should be inconsequential to whether or not you have good reasons for your faith in atheism or whatever. But on the same token, okay, that parkour is not working. Let's try a different one. I have another idea. We're going to try to get on top of this center here, or whatever you call it, the community center. So essentially, there should be no reason that an atheist would be offended by a Christian channel. It just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I can't jump this high. The whole point of being an atheist is that you don't think there's any consequence, eternal consequence spiritually or anything like that to the universe. So why would it like change your point of view if I believe in something? That being said, I do hope that my point of view can change some atheists' mind. Here's the thing, though. I am not the sort of person who thinks that I should just be quiet because it might offend other people's beliefs, and that I should just respect that other people have certain beliefs. Now, I mean, I will respect it, but that doesn't mean that I will agree with it, right? Some people think, okay, as long as they're being religious, as long as they're being spiritual, they are A-okay eternally. So as long as someone is spiritual, like universalism, they believe that as long as someone's being spiritual, they will go to heaven. Now, this brings me to sort of something I heard from a guy recently. I was at the Baptist Student Union at my university, right? And the guy that was talking there, he's very good at theology. I really loved what he talked about. But he mentioned a time, look at this, this is fun. He mentioned a time when, right after 9/11, right? 2001, 9/11, some of you are too young to remember that, but Oprah came on the air and she's like, there's been an attack, blah, 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 blah. Everybody needs to stop what they're doing and pray to someone. It doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter what you pray to, but it's just important that you pray. Right? Those aren't her exact words, I'm paraphrasing, but she definitely said something along those lines. And that's sort of the sentiment that I've gotten from other people, like my psychology professor, right? I took a religion and psychology class, and the professor was like, it doesn't matter what religion you're studying, as long as you're being spiritual, you'll be fine. Imagine if a doctor, a physical doctor, came to you and said, you have this really bad disease, right? It doesn't matter what you take to cure it, as long as you're taking something. So you can take a sugar pill, you can take water, you can take a Skittle. Doesn't matter what you're taking. As long as you take something, it'll be healed. That's not how life works. And that's not how spiritual things work. It's the same sort of thing. Being healthy spiritually, you can't just take anything and expect it to make you healthy. It's sort of like medicine. You can't just take anything and expect it to make you healthy. Same with your brain, like mental health, right? You can't just do anything and expect it to make you healthy. You can't just like, I need to get therapy for my mental health. I'm going to go watch SpongeBob. That's my therapy. You can't just try anything and it'll work automatically. Same thing with religion. It's sort of find the right religion, the one that actually makes sense spiritually. So we know, like the psychology professor was very, very positive that spirituality was an important thing in a person's life. But he had no idea what solution, like what spirituality actually looked like. He was never able to pinpoint. And that's because he was unwilling to accept the fact that maybe, just maybe, there is a certain answer to spirituality. It's not just everybody does something. Everybody just has an idea and they do it. He was unable to accept that, and that's why he was unable to provide any sort of consequential or any sort of concrete definition of what we should be doing to improve our spiritual health. I mean, if you were to take a nursing class, they would be able to say, or a health class, they'd be able to say, hey, this is how you can help your body. That's what in the world? that teacher was unable to explain what we can do to help our spirituality. And that's because he was unwilling to accept that there might possibly be another answer, that the answer to life isn't just randomness, right? There is a single answer. Now, I'm not going to say that Christianity is the answer, although I believe that, or I guess I am saying that, but that's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing that you should look for the best option and go for that, right? Don't look for a second best option, like, I think I should have a religion so that I can be special. Therefore, I'm going to choose Pastafarianism or Satanism, and you can't offend me because that's my right as an American. Yeah, but you're not choosing the best option. That's like being like, I have the right to do sugar pills to heal myself. Yeah, you have that right. That doesn't mean I can say you're smart at all for doing that. Same thing with religion. That doesn't mean I have to say you're smart or concede to your points or respect your points even. I can respect you as a person. That doesn't mean I have to respect exactly what your argument is. So that's sort of how it works. People think spirituality is a demographic, like skin color or gender or ethnicity. And what your religion is, you cannot have people disagree with you or else it's discrimination. So if you're an atheist, people can't discriminate against you. I've actually, a little something I did. Let's find something to do here. Let's do some decorating. I've actually went to an atheist meeting, right, with some of my Christian friends from the same BSU. We decided it'd be fun to go and see what they do over in the atheist club. And the simple fact that they had an atheist club seemed silly to me. But what they did was they talked about all the times that Christians offended them by being Christians, by praying in their midst, by having Jesus stickers on their car, and how offensive it was to them that Christians did that. Which, to me, I never really thought that could be offensive because I've never been offended if someone questions my belief. I'm not offended if atheists say, Jioge, I disagree with what you believe, and here's why. I've never been offended by that because that's what we expect. That's how Jesus lived. He lived with people questioning him 24/7. And the fact that some people are offended when you question their beliefs as if it's like their right to believe whatever they want. I mean, it is their right, but as if it's like set in stone that they can just believe things and we have to agree with them or respect it. I think that's silly. I think that's absolutely silly. Now, freedom of religion is the purpose of our country, but freedom from being taught religion is not a freedom. Okay, so that's sort of where you draw the line there. It's not, I'm free to not have anybody ever talk to me about religion. That's not what freedom of religion means. That's freedom to not have people talk to you, which is not how being a human works, right? We are made to communicate, and everybody knows that, or we evolved to communicate if you're in that persuasion. With that in mind, it doesn't make sense that some people are like, yeah, universalism's cool. You can believe whatever you want and nobody can ever tell you otherwise. So you can't be wrong about religion, just like you can't be wrong about your skin color. It's not the same thing. Of course you can't be wrong about your skin color. You were born with that, and it's just a genetic thing. Religion is not a genetic thing. It's not something you're born with. Some people are born into families that believe certain things, but I don't believe that should be like the same sort of deal. I don't have to respect your faulty beliefs just because you are in America. Okay, I think this path looks interesting enough. I'm not sure what I'm going for here. Let's build along this line. So hopefully you get what I'm saying, is that you don't actually have to, like, if you disagree with what I'm saying, if you say I'm offending you, that's just complete nonsense. There's no offense. I'm just saying I disagree with what you're saying. In the same way that if I'm talking about spiritual health, right? Talking about Christianity, talking about eternal salvation, as if it's the way to spiritual health, spiritual fitness, stuff like that, there's no reason you should be offended. In the same way that if I'm talking about, let's say I'm talking about medicine, I'm a doctor, and I'm saying, hey, you shouldn't be doing bad drugs. You should be eating healthy. And what if you were offended by that? That'd be silly. It's the same sort of thing. I don't think, I think religion is not something that we can ever be scared to discuss or ever should be scared to discuss. And if you are scared to discuss, then other people's freedom from religion is infringing on your freedom of religion. It's infringing on your freedom to make wise choices. It's infringing on your freedom of speech, even. So whenever people tell you that you can't talk to them about your Christianity because they believe something else, then they are violating your freedom of religion to discuss whatever you want, to have freedom of speech, to have freedom of religion, freedom of association, freedom of everything, right? So now, freedom of religion, here's what that looks like to me. It doesn't look like, it means I can practice my religion and you can't tell me I can't, essentially is what it means. And it means you can't force me to be any certain religion. It does not mean that you can simply ignore or have a free pass from hearing my point of view. That's like, it's like freedom of speech for the spirit. It's freedom to use your spirit how you want, essentially, is what freedom of religion means. It doesn't mean you can force me to not be able to say things. It doesn't mean you can infringe upon my rights because you think your religion's some sort of demographic that you can just use like as a discriminatory lawsuit or something. So hopefully you get what I'm saying. Hopefully this episode hasn't been too dry. I know it's getting pretty long. I've done a lot of discussing, a lot of jumping around, a little bit of decorating, and I mostly showed you like what happened. Next episode, we'll have a lot more to do. I'll have a lot more ideas, but I need to get some armor and tools and stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed the message today. And remember, I have removed advertisements from my channel so that it can be funded by donations. So if you feel obliged to do that, be sure to let me know. And make sure you comment about sort of what you think of today's talk about universalism and being able to choose whatever religion you want, and how silly it is that some people advise just choosing a religion rather than the best religion. So, and let me know what you think. If you comment and say, I'm offended by what you said today, then you are just exemplifying what I said today. And I thank you for being the example of who, whoa, what is going on? Look at that glitch. That's cool. You are being the example of what I was talking about today with why that's a very silly thing to say. So with that in mind, be sure to comment with what you think about the episode, what you think about me going advertisement free. God bless, and I'll see you next time.